As we dive into our lesson on multi-jurisdictional tax issues, we're going to see issues between states, issues between foreign countries and entities, and everything in between. Starting off, an affiliated group of businesses operating in several countries and conducting sales between affiliates could potentially have a pricing structure that either intentionally or unintentionally understates income in some or all of those countries, including the United States. That's not good. You can see from the IRS, well, maybe for the company, but from the IRS's perspective, that's not good. Whether it's intentional, you're doing it on purpose, or unintentional, it's just you're conducting business operations. And just remember that the tax structure, this tax code, it's all artificial. You could make the argument that a lot of financial accounting rules and financial statements, that's organic. I mean, the whole accounting system and journal entry system, it makes sense. It's organic. It's supposed to accurately reflect what happens. But the whole tax system, it's just a bunch of arbitrary rules made up by the IRS to tax you. So that's why you can see where, if we took tax out of the equation, this really wouldn't be that big of a deal as long as everything's being accurately reflected. However, just there are going to be some situations, some concepts, and some things in reality that will affect taxes. And as such, the IRS makes adjustments to the tax code to make sure it captures all of that revenue. Now, this situation can result in some countries not receiving as much income tax as they would under arm's length transactions. This occurs when transfer prices for intra-group transactions are manipulated to shift profits to lower tax jurisdictions and expenses to high tax jurisdictions, thus reducing overall tax liability for the multinational corporation. We see lots of instances where, whenever you're listening to this, it may have changed. Not because things change every year at this point. The world is constantly changing, but Ireland has generally been a pretty tax-friendly place, so a lot of U.S. companies have had their headquarters in Ireland. However, with the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, one of the big components of that was to bring U.S. companies back. Who knows? You could be listening to this, and a year after I record it, Saudi Arabia could be the best place to have a business, or England, or France, or Colombia, or Argentina, or anything. It's just that kind of thing shifts a lot, and it's very competitive in terms of countries trying to get their companies to have their headquarters there because taxes are a massive component. They're a massive expense for any business. Now, for example, suppose we have a US-based subsidiary that sells its goods to an affiliate in a lower tax country at an artificially low price. This would result in lower profits and tax liability for the US subsidiary because when do you have tax? It's when you generally sell something. So if you're selling it to another subsidiary at a low price, you've got lower profits for that US subsidiary, while the foreign affiliate would have higher profits due to the low purchase costs. So you see right there, boom, we've got some issues. When the foreign affiliate sells the goods at a higher price in its local market or to other affiliates, the profits generated are taxed at the lower rate in the foreign country. Every country has different tax rates. You hear about Cayman Islands, Switzerland, just different countries that have preferential tax treatment. And we're not here to go into the tax law behind it all, but that is something to consider and something to watch out for in terms of taxes. Now, conversely, if a foreign subsidiary in a high tax country sells goods to its U.S. affiliate at an inflated price, the U.S. affiliate would report higher costs but lower profits, thus reducing its U.S. tax liability. Meanwhile, the foreign subsidiary would report higher profits, but the income would be taxed at a higher rate in its home country. So just situations to consider, keep in mind, watch out for. In both cases, the income is understated in the high tax countries, including the U.S., and results in lower income tax revenues for those countries. Now, tax authorities such as the IRS in the United States are well aware of transfer pricing issues. Maybe some of you have worked in transfer pricing. There are whole transfer pricing divisions within accounting firms. Watch out for this. To account for this, make sure that everything's being accurately reported, and require multinational corporations to adhere to the arm's length principle in setting transfer prices. Companies must maintain appropriate transfer pricing documentation to support their pricing arrangements and to demonstrate compliance with the arm's length principle. Important points to keep in mind. We want to make sure that we're not, whether, again, it's intentional or unintentionally, selling goods to a subsidiary at a lower price. We want to make sure we understand what prices we should sell it to. That is incredibly complex, and we're not going to get into it too much because otherwise we'd be here for days on end. But as long as you understand the core concepts behind this, you'll be good to go. Hey there! Are you ready to not only pass your CPA exams, but truly understand and enjoy the material while studying? I know it seems impossible, right? Especially to enjoy the material? We'll do it together. Tap into the power of CPA.Examprep.ai, where we've got personalized quizzes, multiple choice questions, memorization guides, flashcards, simulations, all tailored to your learning. Our adaptive study planning puts you on the fastest path to success and lifts you back up if you fall behind. Avoid wasting your precious time and money attempting an exam with a low chance of passing, because Who wants that? We want to get you through this process as quick as possible. Our exam readiness prediction lets you walk in with confidence, knowing that you're prepared for success on exam day. Thankfully, there's no payment method needed to get started, so why don't you come join us? Visit cpa.examprep.ai and let's achieve your exam success together.